Hi everyone, welcome to Bello's Designs. My name is Catherine and today we are going to make this 4x4 card, which we will frame at the end, called Valentine Be Mine. Let's talk about what we need to get started. For stamps, we will be using LAV 238 Group of Hearts, LAV 679, the branch from the sets, the Be Yourself words from Bumble Words, LAV 900, and finally Bumble Hums, LAV 893. I have a piece of 3.5 by 3.5 multifarious cardstock, as well as a 4x8 card base that I have folded in half to make a 4x4 card. For inks, we'll be using the Elements Sundance, Confetti, and Emperor Red. You'll also want to pull out a few VersaFine Clair inks. I have Nocturne, Morning Mist, and Tulip Red. I'll be using a few brushes, so I have a watercolor blending brush for my Mica Minerals just to add some extra sparkle. I have a fine line marker. I'll be using my Sharpie, a fan brush from Bello's, and I'll link that in the description box below, as well as two number 9 stencil brushes from the Lavinia line. We'll be using some Mica Minerals Crystal Gold, the Mystical Sprays, and I have the Fruit Sorbet. And finally, I will be using some acrylic chalk paint in Snow White. Let's pull this all together and get started. All right, we have a nice little base coat there, and I think that's looking pretty good for what I'd like to do with it. The next thing I'm going to do is come in, my first stamp is the branch from the foliage set, and I'm going to stamp that in first and second generation using my Morning Mist from VersaFine Clair. The next stamp I'm going to use is the Group of Hearts from Lavinia, and I'm going to stamp that in the Tulip Red. And my thought is to make the hearts look as though they are flowers. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'm pretty happy with how that's filled in. Let's bring in our Bumble Hums and our Nocturne from VersaFine Clair, and we'll just ink those up really well. And give it a nice little press. And I'm going to try to center that so that they're mostly in that yellow sunny glow. There we go. That's a really nice start to our card, don't you think? Let's add some details. So I'm going to bring in my palette and add some gold Mica Minerals just right to my little tray here. And all you need is a little bit from maybe the end of a brush. And we'll add some water to that. Just a few drops, we don't need very much. I'm going to use this with my watercolor blending pen just to paint in the little bodies on the bees and their wings. Now that my bees have had some time to dry, I have put down a little bit of scrap paper that I have saved from a box of packing just to keep the top of my desk clean. And I am going to come back with my Mysticals mica spray. And again, it's the fruit sorbet, which is going to give us a nice deep pink look to our background. You just want to make sure that you shake it up really well to get all the mica mixed into the spray. And we don't need a lot of this, so we'll just give it a couple quick squirts. There we go. And a shot with the heat gun, and we'll be back. The next thing I want to do in my project is stamp my bee words, and I'm going to use Be Yourself right in the top left corner of my card. So we'll just ink that up once again in the VersaFine Nocturne. And let's make sure it's nice and straight. I hope that came out straight. There we go. All right, and now I'm going to come back in with my Sharpie, and I just want to give the bees a little flight path. I thought it made a cute extra little touch. So just going to give it a little drawing. Just to give the illusion of our bumblebees flying in circles around our flowers. And not even all of them, just a few of them. There we go. I like how that came out. What I've done previously is used my Snow White acrylic chalk paint, and I've mixed it with a little bit of water. So I'm just going to mix it up again. And this is a good way to use your acrylic chalk paints if you have bought them and you're looking for something else to do with them. And maybe you don't have a Posca pen on hand. It's just another alternative to a Posca pen. So now that I've watered it down just a little bit, I'm going to pick it up with my fan brush, and using the back of my stencil brush, we'll just give it a few taps, and then we can give ourselves a little bit of white sprinkle right there, just for a little bit of extra fun. All right, and that's probably going to be enough for me. Here we go. Let's let it dry and we'll come back and put our final card together. Now my card is finished and dry, and I did give it a little spray with a fixative to make sure that all of the sparkle from the mica stays in place on my bumblebees. And with my sample, I have gone ahead and framed it in this adorable little frame that I was able to find at a local discount store. I just find that this is a nice way to give a card as a gift. I hope that you come back this week to see all the fun and quick Valentines that our design team has scheduled to share with you. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.